What's up, guys? We are back with another Guardian video. This time we are talking about the Awakening that was released yesterday. It has been announced that we will receive it in North America and EU on February 5th. Not even that far away. I'm stoked. Today we're going to be covering the skills in depth. Let's get into it. Come on. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to get into here is going to be your E buff or your siege buff in Awakening. It's going to give you 20 AP for 30 seconds, 50% crit rate for 30 seconds, 15% accuracy, 30% move speed, and 20% crit hit damage for 30 seconds. Overall, an amazing E buff, but that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. Below the crit hit damage, you can see there's a buff for 10 seconds, and what that actually gives you is super armor for 10 seconds. So whatever you do 10 seconds after you pop this buff, you're gonna be in super armor. The only way you're getting CC'd is with the grab. I cannot wait to put this to use. Next up, we have the grab. So this is your awaken grab. It's just gonna be triggered by E, and you can also use it while in pre-awaken and it will swap you. Now, skilling into your awaken grab does lock your pre-awaken grab right here. So you don't have both, you just get to choose one or the other. The awaken grab is going to be a long animation, but it has incredible range and it has a DP shred on it. It's going to be super armor as long as you land the skill, and it's going to be a knockdown on your target after flinging them over your back. This is what the skill looks like right here. I'll show you guys the range. Stab the target, flip him over your head, and a knockdown. Very low cooldown at only 7 seconds. Just an incredible grab. Now we're going to cover the dash that Guardian picks up with its awakening. It does not share a cooldown with your dash from pre-awakening. So if you dash, swap, dash, you can chain some movement together. This one in awakening is going to be an iframe while you use it, and it's just going to be shift in any direction. It also gives you a nice little 10% move speed buff after you pop it. Just going to look like this. Just a little shuffle, not a lot of distance, but it is a nice iframe to dodge some damage. Show you backwards, nice little back step, and to the left. As you can see, every time it's refreshing that move speed buff, making you a little quicker in combat. Next we have S, L, and B. This is going to be a multi-hit combo. It's not protected, so I don't see it being used a ton in PvP. It only has a knockback on the second hit. But I think this will be a great pre-buff if you know you're about to get into a fight or if you're dueling, because the first hit of the skill will give you 20% attack speed for 10 seconds, which is pretty massive, especially with Guardian's slower animations. So if you can see the first hit right here, it's going to give you that buff. I'll go ahead and show you guys the full combo here. So just a little 3-hit. That last one was not part of it, but it's just a quick little 3-hit combo. Again, I think it's mainly going to be used for the attack speed buff, but who knows? Next up is going to be S, R, and B. This has incredible range and a float on good hits, as well as air attack. So let me show you guys just how good the range on this skill is. We're standing all the way back here. Both hits connected. Didn't get the float. We'll try again on this NPC. Didn't get the float again, but you guys can see the range and the potential of the skill. Next up is going to be Shift and F. This is going to give you 18% accuracy rate for 10 seconds upon using the skill, and it's going to shred 20 AP from the target. It's super armor, but it doesn't have any CC for PvP, only PvE, but it will be one of your down smashes in your kit, and it also has incredible range. So Shift F going to look like this. Relatively short cooldown. We got the float because this counts as PvE. I'll back it up even further, show you guys the range on this skill. Again, just really good range. The accuracy buff is going to be huge against all the evasion memers. Overall, a very strong skill on only a 6-second cooldown. So you can have this accuracy buff up at all times as long as you're hitting targets. Next up, we have the Shift R&B. This skill has incredible damage. It is slower and unsafe, so you have to be careful while using it. But if you can get someone with this ability while they're on the ground, you're more than likely going to execute them. So the ability looks like this. It's a 2-part combo. First hit, second hit, and that second hit is just going to bring, like I said before, an insane amount of damage. It has down attack on it. The first hit is a bound in PvP, and the second hit will be a down smash for you. Good accuracy modifier and nice crit hit rate on that. Next up, we have your shift Q, which is going to be another nuke, especially when your target is on the ground. It has a minus 20 DP debuff on your enemy for 10 seconds, as well as gives you plus 50 HP recovery for every hit. Now that doesn't sound crazy for PvP, but for PvE, because the skill hits 14 times, you're easily going to be able to maintain your HP even at the harder grind spots like Sakraya, Star's End, etc. Let me show you what that looks like. Again, this is super armor for the entire animation. It's a long animation. You can't cancel out of it at the end like you saw with RMB and A or RMB and D. Just a quick side dash, which will also put you in pre-awakening. So let me show you it one more time. There it is. And then the end of the animation you can cancel out of. The middle you cannot though. Once you commit to that skill, you're locked in till the end. The next skill is probably one of my favorites out of Guardian's Awakening overall. This has multiple charges up to 3 times. It has a 100% crit rate, has a great accuracy modifier at 14%, and the attack range increases while you are charging the skill. So the longer you charge it, the further it's going to hit. It also has a DP shred of 20 for 10 seconds and forward guard throughout the entire animation. So I'll show you what it looks like if you just click it. Just a quick little hit. As you can see, not a lot of range, probably went to about there. But if we back up, wait for the cooldown, charge it up, as long as the crosshairs remain red, it's going to connect. So as you can see, incredible range, really good damage if it's charged all the way up. And we'll talk about this skill next. It has a flow. So you use your shift L and B. You don't have to charge it up for the flow, but let's say you charge it up all the way. You're going to have forward guard the entire time. You're going to get that DP shred. And then you can go into the flow, which is going to give some WP back, but it's mostly for the damage. And it has super armor and a down attack modifier. So charge up shift L and B. Let that go. Right click after, and you get that second hit of super armor and down attack damage. Next up, you just have your basic R&B. This skill, again, not really PvP heavy, but it can be great in PvE, seeing how it has a stun and a knockback for PvE. This is just going to be holding right mouse button. Again, it's a multi-hit combo. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Nothing crazy. Moving on to the next skill, we have the Shift R&B flow. So what this is going to look like, again, this is the execution skill I was talking about earlier. You're just going to shift R&B, and then R&B one more time for the flow for some bonus damage at the end. That part of the skill is going to be super armor. So if you chain into this and you need super armor at the end, you can right click. It's also going to be a bound and down attack. Next up is going to be the charge skill. This is the same as the pre-awakening, so it might look familiar. You can also use it as a swap from your pre-awaken. So I'll show you that right now. It's just going to be WF once again, puts you in your awakening. It's a nice little sprint, good distance, and it's going to give you that move speed bonus as well as a DP debuff as long as you connect with the target of minus 20. It's going to be forward guard, so you have to be kind of careful using this when engaging or escaping, but it can be a great tool for mobility. Next up, we have another skill that can swap you into your awakening. Right now I have it hotbarred, but by default it's space after some skills. I would recommend hotbarring it just because it's easier to activate when you want to use it. It's going to give you 20 AP for 10 seconds. And in PvE, it's also a vacuum and a spin as well as a knockdown. So great CC for PvE. For PvP, it will give you a down smash if you need to extend your combo. So it's just going to look like this. I'll show you the swap from pre-awaken. Again, you just hit it off quick bar, Nice little swap and great for PvE. Another aspect to this skill is while you're holding your Q block in Awakening, you can use the skill off your hotbar and it will get you out of the animation. So even if you're being hit and you're stuck in your block, you can use this skill. Again, it's not protected, so you have to be careful using it. But let's say you're getting hit by mobs and you're kind of locked behind your block, you just hit 2 or whatever your quick slot is and it will get you out of that sticky situation. Next up, we just have your basic F skill. This is going to be nice to extend or set up a combo for yourself. It's just a quick animation and a stun. So it looks something like this. Does a little step forward. Again, it's a stun, which is nice. It's got a decent range on it, as you can see right there. So again, setting up combos or extending combos, that stun will be great. Next up, we're going to cover one of your biggest mobility skills, which is going to be your down F. It's an iframe while moving and a super armor on attack if you choose to use the cancel. Right now, I'll show you guys what it looks like without the cancel. Just the mobility. Incredible distance. You can move your camera around or click to move this ability to position better. Now, there is an attack on the end of it if you hit L and B, which is going to be super armor and a down smash. I'll show you what that looks like now. So you can see the smash down at the end. It's just going to give you a little bit more damage when you engage. Or if you want to cancel out of the ability early, you can just hit L and B. Alright, now we're going to cover the last ability for Guardian's Awakening. And this has to be my favorite. This is going to be a nice little slide. It's a super armor while you're sliding. So the first part looks like this. Just a nice little slide. It's on an 8-second cooldown. Relatively short. The second part of the skill, you just activate right click again. And it's going to give you a nice little float. Now, if you slide, right click, and then right click again, you go full Dragon Ball Z instant transmission with incredible damage. It's, I believe, 100% crit hit rate on the extra hit. So it's gonna look like this. You slide, right click one more time, nice 3-hit combo, and incredible damage on that last ability. Because it gives you down attack and air attack as long as you're connecting with them while they're in the air from the first float. So one more time, dash, right click, get the air attack, and then the down attack at the end. That ability is going to be one of the strongest in Guardian's kit. I'm saying it right now. Quote me. I cannot wait to use this on the live servers. You guys didn't think I was going to leave you without the 100% now, did you? The 100%, if you guys have seen the Guardian Awakening video, it is the Phoenix. It's probably one of the best looking skills I've seen in the game. It's so badass. Here it is. It's just going to be on your down F. Transform into the Phoenix. Along the entire path is going to be a knockdown, and it's going to apply a great amount of damage. Now, similar to Berserkers 100%, you can click to move that to condense all the damage into one area. It's not going to hit quite as hard as Berserkers 100, but it does provide pretty good damage in CC. Alright guys, that's going to do it for the Guardian video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the Awakening version of Guardian. I am so excited to dive into this class. In 6 days, we get the pre-Awakening on NA. A couple weeks after that, we're getting the Awakening. I am going hard. There's going to be plenty of Guardian videos coming out on the channel as well. If you head over to the Twitch, you can check out the live Guardian action. I cannot wait to play this class. It is probably the most excited I've been for a class since we were playing Meiwa. Make sure you guys leave some feedback down below. Let me know how you guys have been enjoying the videos, what you'd like to see out of Guardian, or just what you'd like to see from me in general. But for this video, that's going to be it, and I'm out. Peace!